Hey guys, it's Kurt, and we're doing Caesar 5, Book 5, Chapter 33, and in this part, it's when the Romans are trying to escape from the Gauls' ambush in north east France, current day France. All right, let's get started. Alright, this time I'm going to read the Latin because Greg doesn't do Caesar and I don't like the other dude I used last time. So, tum damum titurius. Alright, here we go. And this time I'm going to do Latin because Greg doesn't do them. So, and I don't like the other person I chose last time. So, tum damum tertius qui nihil ante providescit tripidare et concursare cohortisque disponere, haec tamen ipsa timidaque ut eum omnia defigere viderentur. Okay, so I'll lead you guys through it. Then tum at length damum tertius, nothing. Since he had nothing beforehand. So this can kind of be translated like confused or in a flutter, perhaps. Uh, and he ran to and fro. He ran to and fro and arranged the cohorts. These very things is what the book says to do. These very things, however, he did timidly, and so that result clause, in fact, all seemed to fail him. So obviously this is not a good start. Their leader is failing in every regard, and you may be wondering about these infinitives. Nope, they're not infinitives. They're actually historical infinitives. So, well, they are infinitives, but they're historical infinitives, so they're not translated the same way. Okay, let's go on. This is a long section, by the way, so you have to bear with me. Quod plerum quaeus accedere cons suavit quin ipso negotio consilium capere coguntur. All right, so which often becomes a custom to those who are forced to take a plan in the action itself. So basically, this is kind of a fancy way of saying he's planning on the go. He wasn't originally he didn't have a master plan. He's just kind of going off as he goes. So that's what he's saying. Caesar's basically saying he's failing so much because he didn't really have a concrete plan beforehand. All right, next section. So then at cota qui congitaset haec posse posin itinere accedere at quab eum calsam profectionis auctor non fuisset nullin re communi saluti dederet et in appellandis cohortandis imperatus et in pugna militis officia praestabat. All right, so let's get going here. But okay, so here we go. So but Coda, who had known these things might occur on their journey or voyage, perhaps, and on that account had not been the author or creator of the departure, and in no way had he had he failed the common safety in these things, and you got to get the both and remember, and the both in addressing and urging the soldiers, and then kind of a new like sentence here, but it's not punctuated. Uh, he showed the duties of a general and of a soldier in battle. So it's basically saying he not only was a general, but he was also fighting on the front line. So it's kind of making the dude sound cool. Okay, here we go. Next section. Cum propter longitudinem argumentis minus facilomnia per soberet quid quoque loco faciendum esset providere possent usuerant nuntiaret impedimenta relinquerent atque in orbem constituerent. So this reading was kind of interesting because se obere et, 3 words go to one, so it's kind of cool. All right, since on account of the length of the battle line, they could less easily perform all the things by themselves, and to be able to provide which should be done in each place, they ordered to give that they should leave the baggage, like their stuff, and form in a circle, or how I prefer, an orb. So something interesting about this cum posset poscent, the book tells us to do. It's subjunctive because it's in a casual clause, and then this they, meaning like they less easily, is referring to Tertius and Coda, because the long lines, and it's just a few of them trying to command these people, so it's a long way to travel. You know, it's hard to put it this way. It's difficult. From personal experience, it's difficult to command a large army when the battle lines are long. Just kidding, don't have personal experience, but I can imagine. Okay, next part. Okay, quod concilium et sine eius modi casu reprehendum non est tamen in commodi accidit. So, commodi accidit. So, this is another, wow, it's a lucky day actually. Etsi in eius modi, 3 words that go into the same thing again. Wow, you guys are in for a treat. Okay. Though a plan of this form is not to be blamed or reprimanded, uh, nevertheless, uh, it unfortunately occurred. So he's basically saying, even though this isn't how obviously we wanted it to go, it occurred, and there's no need to blame. Next section. Okay, so nam et nostris militibus spem minuit et hostes ad pugnam alacriores effecit, quod non sine sumo timore et desperatione id factum videbatur. Okay, so here we go. Second to last section, good SAT word, penultimate section. So he's just reminding us of, in the prior thing he said it's not to blame, but these are reasons it was unfortunate. So for it both diminished the hope of our soldiers and made the enemy uh, eager to fight, so it made him happier, like ready, anxious perhaps, uh, because it seemed to not been made uh, without the greatest fear and despair. So basically, what he's saying is, first of all, it made our guys have no hope, and the enemy eager to fight, and also we had the greatest fear and despair. So things were not going well, and you'll see in the last section. All right. Okay, so Praesteria accidit quod fieri nescerat ut vulgo militis obsignis discenderent quae quisque eorum charisma haberet ob impendimentis petre atque eripere properaret clamoret fletu omnia copellarentur. Okay, so this part's kind of sad. It kind of bugs me. But besides, it happened because uh, it was necessary to happen. Uh, that sorry, that that uh, everywhere the soldiers departed from their signs or from their leads, or like they just went crazy. Basically, they didn't like follow orders. Uh, okay, and hurried. And then you're gonna go down here a little bit to seek and carry, and then back here, their baggage, that each one considered the most meaningful. Uh, it happened. It happened that everything was filled with shouts and lamentation. So basically, as soon as these people, the soldiers, had stopped following orders and they went to see that they thought, okay, let me just think about myself here. We're about to die, so I just want everything that I like, and I'm just gonna try to get away, rather than being structural. So they basically everything turns to shouting and tears. So, all right, that's the end of my lines. I hope you enjoyed it, maybe, and thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.